evening, dear viewers. You're watching RTD's English News Edition in the major stories. Inauguration of the National Commission for Communication, new headquarters by the Ministry of Communication. The death toll rises to 25 in a car bomb attack on Mogadishu hotel. Those are your top stories, and thanks for joining us in our newsroom. The Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed received an audience this Sunday. The Ambassador of France in Djibouti, Christophe Glou, during this meeting, discussions focused on topics of common interest between the two countries. And this meeting follows the visit of the delegation of the French Council of Investors in Africa in the country. The audience was dedicated to pooling the necessary efforts to strengthen the Franco-Djiboutian bilateral relations, but especially to put in place strategies to further exploit trade and economic collaboration between the two countries. There are efforts to be made in this area, said the Prime Minister in a sense, and assured his host of his personal support and that of the government to advance the economic relationship between the two countries. The President of the National Assembly, Mohammed Ali Ahmed, chaired a program of workshop popularization and reflection actions undertaken during the travels of parliamentarians in the interior regions. The President of the National Assembly welcomed all the participants in this event of the workshop, and the objectives of this parliamentary caravans organized by the National Assembly with the support of the Foundation for Capacity Building in Africa were to seek out all the problems faced by the population living in the interior regions and to find solutions to improve their living conditions. And still on the same workshop of the parliamentary caravan, which is held at the seat of the National Assembly, during which the local parliamentarians met to discuss the importance of these parliamentary caravans. And during this meeting, the people gathered presented a documentary on the movements that were made in the different regions, as well as the work that was done by the leaders of each interior region. And it was an opportunity to organize an interactive debate and answer all the questions asked during this workshop. Under the chairmanship of the Honorable Sharmaki Musa Arwe, the Finance General Economic and Finance and Planning Committee met this Sunday in Committee Room 2 to adopt the draft law of finance number 197 on the amending budget of the state for the financial year 2017. The government was represented by the Minister of Budget, Bod Ahmed, accompanied by senior officials of the various departments. In addition to the commissioners, many non-members of the commission also took part in this meeting, and the chairman of the committee made the decision to review the bill in two meetings to study a revenue and expenditure carefully. The 2017 rectifying budget is balanced. It is stopped in receipt and expense to a total of 131,646 million francs Djibouti. According to the minister, this increase is due to the domestic revenues, including housing sales and dividends. A conference on Maritime Code of Conduct was held today at the Regional Maritime Training Center of Durale. It was an activity that falls within the framework of the Djibouti Maritime Code of Conduct, and this code was put in place in 2009 by 21 African countries in the Arabian Peninsula in order to create a space for regional dialogue on the issues of piracy phenomenon, which was then in full reconsistency. A recent meeting of signatory countries of this code was held in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, in January 2017. It has made it possible to extend the scope of activities covered by this code to other areas of maritime security, arms trafficking, illegal immigration, pollution, illegal fishing, and the like. Attended this conference the Minister of Defense, Ali Hassan Badon, Ambassador of Japan to Djibouti, and Ambassador of France to Djibouti, as well as a body of high officers. The Defense Minister Ali Hassan Badon said that the countryization of the Regional Training Center of Djibouti comes at an aimed point because the country's signature of Djibouti Code of Conduct reaffirms with determination their will to consolidate the achievement and the advances of our cooperation. This is in perspective, he said. The Minister of Defense in charge of relations with Parliament, Ali Hassan Badon, received this morning in his office the Director of the Fast Africa Standby Force of his English Economist Africa, Mr. Abdullahi Omar Bouh. In discussions between the minister and the director, focus on the situation of ISAF in the particular of the field exercise of the FTX 2017 that will take place on 17 November in Sudan. The distinguished visitor briefed the minister on the progress of the various components, including ISAFCOM, namely civilians, military and police within the organization, as well as on the status of financial contributions from member countries. And continuing with the national news, on October 26, Army General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim received in his office the Dr. Abdullah Omar Bouh, director of the ISAF, on a working visit to Djibouti. The Chief of Staff Major General welcomed the ISAF director and congratulated the Dr. Abdullah on his appointment as the head of this department organization on the regional level. He then provided support so that the director of the ISAF could carry out his mission. It is extremely important for us to see one of our citizens at the head of an organization, he said. For his part, the director Abdullah Omar Bouh underlined his gratitude to the place of the High Military Command. The Minister of Communication, Abdi Yusuf Suge, presided over the inauguration ceremony of new premises for the National Commission of Communication located near the Cross Lorraine in the presence of President Mrs. Lufa and 9 members of the Commission. The inauguration offered better working conditions and intervened a few months of the legislative election scheduled on February 2018. It was set up in 2015 and it will start its activities during the municipal elections, and 3 members are appointed by the Presidency, 2 by the Assembly and 2 by the Minister of Communication, a member of the Human Rights Commission and a representative of the Chamber of Commerce. The purpose of this commission is to advise the government and the institutions in giving its opinions of recommendations to ensure the respect of the law in the matter of the press and the right to information. And in his speech, the Minister of Communication, Abdi Yusuf Suge, said that this commission will have important specific taxes to ensure the respect of press laws and right to information. And while ensuring the pluralism of information, it must ensure equitable access by the media and trade unions to the media as well. All audiovisual media, print and online press comes under its jurisdiction, he said. A national seminar on mutual legal assistance at the regional level for the fight against terrorism opened today at the Sheraton Hotel in Djibouti. The opening of this 5-day workshop was chaired by the Secretary General of the Ministry of Justice and Penitentiary Affairs, Maki Omar, in the presence of a representative of the European Union and 2 experts in the presence of various bodies concerned with security and safety. The purpose of this seminar is to share the discussions and conclusions and to put in place a guidebook for the purposes of international mutual legal assistance. In health now, hemophilia is manifested by hemorrhages that may occur after minor trauma to the child during games at a young age, when learning to walk or after a traumatic event such as small surgeries, circumcision, dental extraction, or following blood sample. If the screening for hemophilia is not done in time, this can lead to the death of the child by hemorrhage. We informed the public and that diagnosis of this pathology is available at the Peltier General Hospital today. Although the treatment of this is extremely expensive, the Ministry of Health has made available to the hospital drugs that deal with hemophilia thanks to the coordinated will of the government. We present to you 3 young patients who currently benefit from the treatment of this disease of the pediatric department of Peltier General Hospital. And let's recall the dramatic story of this mother who lost 2 children, one of them following the extraction of Hainati, precisely because of the lack of diagnosis upstream. The Ministry of Health is preparing a campaign to raise awareness of this unknown disease by the population and to inform them that these teams from pediatrics and the General Hospital Peltier Laboratory are at their disposal to carry out this screening. In Somalia now, the regional news. A gun battle erupted at a hotel in Somali capital Mogadishu after militants rammed a car bomb into the gates and stormed the building. A second car bomb targeted the former parliament house nearby was reported when an attacker detonated suicide vest at the hotel. At least 25 people, including many policemen, were killed inside these coordinated attacks, and more than 30 others were wounded. A police commander and a former MP are reportedly among the dead. More than 20 people people, including government officials, were believed to have been trapped as security forces battled extremists held up on the top floor of the Neshabat 2 hotel close to the presidential palace. The attacks have been claimed by extremist group Al-Shabaab. That's all for tonight's news. Thank you for joining us on RTD channel and have a great afternoon.